If you're looking at Oregon's roster going into 2026 and thinking they've taken a step back, you're looking at it the wrong way. Because what most fans see in the offseason is who left. What they're not seeing is how this roster is structured and what it's about to become. And I think a lot of people are misreading it. My name is Zach, welcome to the Sports Corner at Choose Adventure Media, and let's get into it. Every offseason, the conversation follows the same pattern. A couple NFL departures happen, a few big names move on, and the flashy moments from the year before fade. And the immediate reaction becomes, are they worse? But offseason optics lie. Fans react to subtraction emotionally. They react to names, not structure. They remember the splash plays the departing players made, but not efficiency metrics. They remember who declared for the draft, but not who's coming back much improved from the previous season. Roster evaluation in February is almost always about nostalgia, not projection. What actually matters is roster shape. Are your premium positions stable? Are your best players peaking at the same time? Is your quarterback ascending or resetting? Are you dependent on one-year fixes? And when you evaluate Oregon through that lens, the picture looks very different. This is not a team scrambling to replace production. This is a team positioned to refine it. So let's start with the offensive line because that's usually where the panic begins. Last year's line was phenomenal in the run game and solid in pass protection. Not perfect, not dominant in every phase, but structurally strong. The players returning starts with Iapani Laloulu, aka Pancho. Pancho at center remains one of the best in college football. Dave Iuli is one of the best returning guards in the country by advanced grading metrics, and he never really got talked about last year. The projected tackles going into 2026 have real experience and have proven to be, at a minimum, solid. And there's real buzz around Douglas Utu as a potential difference maker at the other guard spot. That doesn't sound like regression to me. That sounds like continuity with upside. Is depth something to monitor? Sure. But that's a variable, not a weakness. Then you look at the defensive front. Oregon returns without a single doubt the best defensive line in college football, and honestly one of the best I can remember ever. Matayo, Tatum, Bear, and Amari are like the Monstars from Space Jam. Linebacker might be the perceived weakness again. It was last year too, and what happened? The defense still kept Oregon in position to win against elite teams. That tells you something about how this roster is constructed. But the real difference between 2025 and 2026 isn't the trenches, it's the quarterback. What made 2025 so good was the explosion. Oregon could score from anywhere. Big plays, vertical shots, momentum swings, they were dangerous, but they were also volatile. They weren't great on third down, they weren't elite at finishing drives in the red zone, and when mistakes happened, they were catastrophic. That's not a talent issue, that's a maturity issue. Dante Moore has all the physical tools. He can manipulate defenders with his eyes, he has rare arm elasticity, he's mobile, and he can create off structure better than anyone in the country. The jump he needs to make isn't physical, it's mental. Sometimes last year he locked onto predetermined reads. Sometimes he hesitated coming off of his first progression. Sometimes he played just a half beat slow. And when he made mistakes, they weren't small ones. In the semifinal, the pick six on the first play of the game came on a predetermined read. He stared down Benson while a receiver was wide open on the backside. Later, a fumble inside their own 10. Even then, it was almost halftime before the game truly slipped away because the defense and the roster around Dante kept them in it. That's the key. Oregon wasn't out-talented in those games. They were undone by situational execution. And situational execution is the difference between explosive and inevitable. Here's why I think people are misreading this roster. Everything hinges on one variable, the year 1 to year 2 as a starter quarterback leap. Dante Moore does not need to become more talented. He needs to become more consistent and more assertive. If his processing speeds up, if he trusts his full progression regularly, if he eliminates the catastrophic mistakes and bounces back when he does make a mistake, then the entire identity of this team changes. Not stylistically, structurally. In 2025, Oregon was explosive but volatile. They could flip a game instantly, but they could also hand one away just as quickly. The offense relied on chunk plays more than it should have, and when drives stalled, they stalled hard. If Moore takes the mental leap, the volatility disappears. The offense doesn't need to be more explosive to be better, it needs to be more consistently efficient. If Oregon simply replaces catastrophic mistakes with average quarterback play in those Indiana games, the outcomes are completely different. And that's not speculation, that's situational football. And when you pair steadier quarterback play with an already elite defense and stable offensive line, the margin for error widens significantly. That's the shift. So, let's all try to stay grounded. If Moore improves marginally, this is still a playoff team. The roster is too strong across the board for a major drop-off. But if he makes a true second-year leap, the kind where the game slows down, the reads speed up, and the third and medium situations feel controlled instead of tense, then Oregon moves from contender to standard setter. Because once efficiency meets talent, the pressure flips to the opponent. Most fans are reacting to who left. What they're missing is how perfectly aligned this roster is. The offensive line isn't resetting, the defensive front isn't thin, and the quarterback isn't new. This isn't a team searching for answers, it's a team refining execution. And that's why I think Oregon is being misread going into 2026. The ceiling isn't about adding more firepower, it's about removing the volatility. If that happens, the Oregon Ducks won't just be dangerous, they'll be controlled. And controlled teams win championships. If you enjoy more breakdowns like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. My name is Zach, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.